Okay, hi you guys, how are you? This is a thread I have to read to you guys because this is not going to be in the news. This was written this morning, Friday, October 14th. Biden did something really big and painful for China, especially at this full moon Aries. It hit their north node. This is going to loop in the next eclipses, and when the eclipses, the north node goes into Aries with the next round. This is such a blow. Okay, so let's just dive right in. This is by Jordan Schneider. He's an analyst on China and technology. He's got his China Talk podcast, etc., etc. Okay, so this is his thread. He says, the U.S. government's new export controls are wreaking havoc on China's chip industry. New rules around U.S. persons are driving an industry-wide decapitation. And look at this tarot card, the Yes card. The following is the translation of a thread posted earlier this week by Linda GZZZ. Lots of people don't know what happened yesterday. To put it simply, Biden has forced all Americans working in China to pick between quitting their jobs and losing American citizenship. Every American executive and engineer working in China's semi-conductor manufacturing industry resigned yesterday. Look at that. The government is forcing a decision, paralyzing Chinese manufacturing overnight. One round of sanctions from Biden did more damage than all 4 years of performative sanctioning under Trump. Although American semiconductor exporters had to apply for licenses during the Trump years, licenses were approved within a month. With the Biden sanctions, all American suppliers of IP blocks, components, and services departed overnight. Over freaking night. Thus cutting off all service to China. Long story short, every advanced node semiconductor company is currently facing comprehensive supply cutoff, resignations from all American staff, and immediate operations paralysis. Do you get this? Talk about supply chain woes. This is what annihilation looks like. China's semiconductor manufacturing industry was reduced to zero overnight. Complete collapse. No chance of survival. Translation of the DMs in a screenshot. Person A. Everyone from Lam Research at Yangtze Memory left today, and on the 12th, the AMAT folks will leave as well. Person B. Yes. Not just Yangtze, but also HLMC, ICRD's Jiading Fab, Hefei's CXMT, DRAM Fab, all leaving. Even Jihe in Hangzhou is pausing operations. Question, why hasn't Chinese media reported on this? Answer, I don't know. The only possible explanation is that this major story and its future ramifications will bring severe damage to the supposedly continuously flourishing semiconductor industry and Chinese national security as a whole. The level of embarrassment is on par with Pelosi's Taiwan visit. Many people don't understand why this is annihilation. Here we go. ASML has stopped providing services and support to mainland China. This is a letter. Dear U.S. colleagues, as you may have heard, on Friday, October 7, the U.S. government issued a new set of regulations prohibiting support to certain fabs in China by U.S. persons. As a result, ASML U.S. employees, including U.S. citizens, green card holders, and foreign nationals who live in the U.S., are prohibited from providing certain services to advanced fabs in China. Effective at midnight tonight, ASML U.S. employees must refrain, other directly or indirectly, from servicing, shipping, or providing support to any customers in China until further notice. While ASML is actively assessing which particular fabs are affected by this restriction. If you have any questions, Regards. So, summary. from Lam Research, which is involved with these new sanctions. 1, all Chinese advanced computing chip design companies are covered by these sanctions, and TSMC will no longer do any tape out for them from now on. 2, all autonomous driving chips will be sanctioned as well. 3, the starting point for this round of sanctions is to go all the way up the food chain and ensure the elimination of all American products and technologies from the entire ecosystem. 4, any company or individual who violates these sanctions face arrest by the U.S. Department of Justice. Here's the link. I don't know what this is, eet-china.com. He says, I will stress again, the round of sanctions means annihilation for China's semiconductor industry. This is nothing like the 10 plus rounds of performative sanctioning during the Trump years. This is a serious act of industry-wide decapitation. That is Pluto, our Pluto return. Any Chinese company that survives is a company that hasn't been fully sanctioned yet. Any fully sanctioned Chinese company is 100% doomed. There's no possibility of survival. American citizens and permanent residents will predictably vote with their feet. And for what it's worth, while I think there is certainly a grain of truth in this thread, the impact into the medium term, short term, might be a bit overstated. I don't care. But my guess is that companies like LAM, out of an abundance of caution, paused servicing in order to make sure they were complying with the law. The regs, after all, are not intended to stop U.S. firms from working in China behind the cutting edge, and if that is their impact, they may be tweaked in the coming months. That said, executives in China, many of whom do hold U.S. passports, have a very difficult decision to make. Given that many of China's most successful entrepreneurs in recent years, in light of zero COVID and Xi's leadership, have decided to leave the country, these new regs may be the tipping point for a lot of China's most experienced talent in the chip space. And so I guess this is an article from the Times today. For more coverage, check out my interview with leading American export controls expert Kevin Wolf on my newsletter, chinatalk.media. And thanks for the thread. So this is like such a huge deal. Today is October 14th. If you've been following me on Twitter, I have had my eye on today and into tomorrow because the sun is 21 degrees. And at our Pluto return number 1, the moon was 22 degrees Libra, and I think was exactly conjunct the top of the chart for China. So this is a massive, massive blow to them, and it has staying power. Even if they do make some changes in the coming months, this is a permanent change. And further in this thread, there's discussion that this alone is going to be very strong deterrence for China to be able to invade Taiwan. So, Tarot, I would just like to see a card of Biden and those semiconductor chips. What do we have on the bottom here? The 4 of Cups. Take it or leave it. We're getting out of here. These are your sanctions. The 3 of Cups. The sanctions by the U.S. government, and this is our international trade and the entire process that's been going on. I have a card for President Biden. It's for our security. That's what it's for. This is amazing. So I hope you enjoyed that. We'll talk to you soon. There's a lot of good news coming out these coming days. I hope to go live and talk a little bit more about China and in the coming days, okay? We'll see you later. Bye.